Alright, so let's get started with this analysis. So we're going to start first with US30. So this morning we did see, or yesterday as well, we did see multiple rejection from the area of interest that I mentioned to you guys, which is going to be around the 37,800, right? Notice how price has pretty much just been bouncing off from this structure. We have resistance over here, which is 3800, and then we also have the support range over here, which is currently over 37,800. Notice how price, we broke above it, we did reject this 3800, and overall, let me show you guys first. Overall, we're still in a bearish market, right? You guys can clearly see that. You guys can see that we are pretty much breaking under support, using it as resistance, right here as well, this over here as well. And then yesterday we pretty much did the same exact trade, which we've been, rejecting this area resistance, right? Now, I'm going to be interested in looking for buys continuing today due to the fact that we're still maintaining above this area of support, right? Notice how we have been rejected it a couple times. So the idea for today, this is going to be also a risky trade since we're pretty much just trading against the trend when the trend is overall bearish, right? Now, the idea is that if price once again rejects the 3800, we do see that price remains itself above it. I will be interested in looking for the buys here back into this upside, which is the 3800, which is the resistance, right? Yesterday in the VIP group, we did manage to catch this trade twice. We took one position over here and then another position right over here, which we did catch a very nice push into the upside. Now, again, for us to clearly say now that the trend has the possibility of switching the structure is that we must have to break above the 3800. So you guys can clearly see the trend, which we are still creating lower lows to lower high. So if we do reject this area, if we do see that price does manage to break above the 3800, there's a potential switch of structure, which we can pretty much retest this current lower highs, get pulled back over here, use it as a higher low to then continue pushing back into the upside. If it does that, this is going to be our first target. If it continues breaking above, same exact story, retest above the structure, and then our final take profit for the buy position would be back above the 38,600, and from there on I will just give you guys another analysis. That's for US30. The sells remains the same. You guys already know the sells is just simply break under this current lower lows, which is pretty much same exact lower lows here, lower lows here, lower lows there, right? Just simply break under this lower low, we get the pullback around the structure. We can say roughly 37,700, 37,680 structure. We do see that price does remain itself under. We're looking for sells all the way back into the downside over here. So that will be the only way that I'll be interested in taking sells this morning with US30. Let's move on forward with gold. So gold, clearly we're still maintaining above the structure, which is currently bullish, right? If you guys go into the daily time frame, you guys can clearly see how the daily time frame has rejected this daily structure over here, which is the previous structure, which is also known as daily resistance, right? Notice how we rejected it yesterday. We're currently retesting it again, and so far we are rejecting it. We go into the 4-hour time frame. You guys can see the 4-hour time frame structure is obviously creating higher highs and higher lows. Same thing with the 2-hour, same thing with the 1-hour time frame. This was yesterday, correct? Yeah. So yesterday we did see the price break retest above the 2365, which was a breakdown that I sent you guys on Monday, which was simply the break above this H1 resistance. As you guys can see, price perfectly broke above it, got the pullback. We did remain itself at support, perfectly pushing back into the upside. Now yesterday analysis, I told you guys that as long as price remained itself above the 2388, 23, it was 88, correct? So it's like around 2388, which is this H1 resistance. As long as price can remain itself above it, I'll be interested in looking for buys. But as you guys can see, price clearly did not remain itself above it and just clearly started breaking back under the structure. Now, this is one structure over here that I did mark up, which I have been seeing that price did reject, and we had to push into the upside. This was this morning during the London session, which price did manage to reject, and we had a very strong push into the upside. So this morning is going to be kind of very patient with gold, but what I will be interested in looking for gold this morning will be one, a break and retest above the 2388. Now again, this is going to be considered a high risk trade, which is going to be a high risk buy position, right? A break above the 2388, I do see that price can clearly push back into the upside, potentially tap into the 2393 for a first take profit, maybe even break back above to 2397. Now where we can look for safe buys will simply be a break and retest above the 2397. This is where I will say there's a potential of more safe buys than taking the trade over here. But if it does clearly give you guys a bullish confirmation, right, you guys can obviously take it, target back over here. If it continues breaking above, simply wait for those break and retests, and then you guys can obviously take the market pretty much all the way back over here. Now obviously you guys want to have the good risk to reward. Don't just be targeting random numbers that really doesn't make any sense, right? Pretty much just target previous structures, which is all around these areas. Now for sells, Sells, same store, is going to be high risk as well. This is pretty much where I would look for risky sells, which will be a break and retest under this structure, which is 23.76, right? This current higher low. If we do manage to break under the 23.76, then we can take it all the way down into 23.65, which is this other structure, which we are currently holding as a higher low as well, right? So if we break under the 23.65, this is where I can tell you guys now that, hey, price has already switched the structure. We went from creating higher highs, higher lows, to then now creating lower lows and then lower highs, right? So as long as we remain under the 23.76, again, higher risk, safe sells, 23.65, you guys are good to take sells. We can potentially target, let's see what we got structure over here. We can target definitely this zones over here, which can be 23.50, which is the first take profit. Second take profit can be right over here, which is 23.38, and then obviously you guys can take it all the way down into 23.27. So that's gonna be for today trade. Right now we don't have any news, we don't have any USD sessions, so let's see how the market plays for us today. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy, found this video helpful. See you guys tonight.